shot me in the heart. And I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, shooter, I don't think I'm gonna make it. See, I'm just as good as dead. I'm good as dead. Whoa, bullseye. Girl, you shot me down to my knees, yeah. Since you took your love from me, and I'm holding on to the hopes that you will return. Although I feel I've lost you forever, I will believe that you still love me. Girl, say you do, say you do, say you do, say you do. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Hollywood Next presents Pieces of the Puzzle. We're going to talk about the withdrawals of Counsel, and I'm going to be presenting to you guys some information so we know how to be moving forward and how we will be moving forward as things proceed. Okay, so anyway, finally, okay, Jennifer has put in her withdrawal. Okay, and if you guys been following me in my community area, you guys already see that I have posted her withdrawal letter, as well as just my little comment over there. Okay, so anyway, let's get into some content. Thank you, baby, and welcome everybody. Thank you guys for coming over to the chat. Let me just see, since I got a few of y'all up in here. Let me go to the channel, add some of my mods, so you guys on point. Okay. Let me see. I see sis in the building. Okay. Oops. Baby, I see you right here, but baby, I don't see you over here. Let's see. Come on, baby. I can see you, Robert. Hold on, baby. Okay. We'll do this tonight. Okay, there you go, baby. I see you. Okay, there you go. Okay. All right, hopefully that works. Okay, you guys. Now, so okay, we heard a lot about Nicole and the withdrawal and wanting to do a substitute. Okay, so I did a little bit of research on substitute. Okay, so now this substitute, I'm gonna bring this up on screen. I'm gonna be off screen for a second. Okay, but I will right here with you guys. No, this isn't. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Something went wrong. Oops, turn it off. Okay, now I'm going to get back on camera and I'm going to share this video with you guys. I'm going to break down this withdrawal of counsel. Okay, I'm gonna just give you guys an example of what this is, an actual court case of withdrawing of counsel. Okay, so here I'm gonna play this and we're gonna break this down. Let's go.
When present, please come forward. Can I enter the bar with full reservation bar? Please come forward. The right to show my bar with reservation bar.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I filed a written motion to withdraw as counsel for Mr. Wynn back on July 24th, 2018. This matter was originally noted for last Thursday. I realized that I wasn't going to be present for that motion as I was out of town, so I renoted it for today. I'm hoping the court had a chance to review the motion.
I did.
Great, thank you. Your Honor, I laid out my motion. At this point, I do not believe I can represent Mr. Wynn due to a breakdown of communications. I can let the court know that throughout the course of my representation of Mr. Wynn, we've always gotten along, and we've never had any personal conflict or a lack of a better term. However, throughout the course of my representation, I found that communications have been recently began to break down. And at this point, I would characterize the breakdown of communication as complete and utter as laid out in my motion. I don't believe there's anything we would need to reasonably or rationally communicate at this point. Due to that, I feel that if I continue to represent Mr. Wynn, I will be very ineffective assistance in counsel.
So I'm going to pause it because what this lawyer is saying is that if he continues to represent this client, he will continue to be bringing in ineffective counsel. So basically, and I'm not sugarcoating this. I'm going to get to y'all raw and uncut. Everybody appeared to, yes, have been terminated from their position working for Mr. Kelly. What they did was they massaged it, they blanketed it, they just tried to put on a united front so that way it wouldn't shake up the support system of R.Kelly for him for us to see this shakedown occur. I'm personally am happy with the shakedown. I'm actually thinking that the shakedown should have took place a long time ago because we did not have Jennifer a long time ago. We are just now getting what should have occurred a long time ago. We're just now getting it right now. So, yes, Jennifer cleaned house. Okay. She is really there for her client. She is really there for the vindication. She's here to see, and I believe by now she has seen what we all have seen. She has unveiled it all piece by piece, the same way we over here at Pieces of the Puzzle have done for the last 3 years, as we put these pieces to the puzzle together one piece at a time. Okay, so most definitely, she sees what we see. Now she's like, yes. And I've told you guys this from the very beginning back in 2019. Get rid of all the people who know R.Kelly, who have met R.Kelly, who breathe the same air as him in his inner area. If they was in his arm reach, if they took a picture with the man, if they claim to know the man, get rid of them. I don't care who you is, from your childhood friend on down to whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion. That's how I felt and that's how I feel. And I'm glad Jennifer is moving in a direction that we, the supporters who know R.Kelly is innocent, can move. Because this is the way the movement should have been from the beginning. R.Kelly should have never, ever been convicted. He should have never been incarcerated, especially on these trumped up charges that we all clearly can see was conspiracy was made up. This was, transpired amongst career criminals, because every last one of them are career criminals. And these people had conspired to take down their own friend, childhood friend, associate, somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that knew this man. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's associated to this case, everybody that is attached to this case in terms of knowing R.Kelly. If you knew the old Robert Sylvester Kelly, if you knew Robert Sylvester Kelly, known to the world as R.Kelly, guess what? You all have been cut. So that means ain't gonna be no more leaks. It won't be no more fake letters coming out. It won't be no more I talked to R.Kelly. I got this for R.Kelly. Won't be no more none of that. If you do not talk to R.Kelly through core link email, if you do not have direct connection and contact straight through him and to him, no more information will be leaked out. No more. If you had any associations and affiliations to those career criminals, from the lawyers to the fake sisters to the PI, his wife, and everybody else that conspired, Don Russell, Diana Copeland, the managers, the bodyguards, the old assistants, the former this, the former that. If you knew these people, if you had any associations to Nicole Becker, Tom Farinella, Steve Greenberg, Anton Doug, Doug Anton, whatever the damn fool is, Calvin Scholar, unfortunately, Canick, Devereaux Canick. And I don't say it bad for him because he came in. Guess what? They needed somebody to take the fall. Somebody had to take the fall. So who do we get to take the fall? We bring in the brother. Let's throw it off on the brother. How could you blame the brother for coming in 6 weeks to trial when Nicole been here since the beginning? Tom Farinella, the beginning. Well, he came in when he came in. He was there. And then you have Steve Greenberg from the beginning. Mike Leonard came in when he came in. Then, you know what I'm saying? Nicole, all these people was here from the beginning, but yet you want to blame Devereaux Canick. I still stand firm on my beliefs that he had to take the fall. Somebody was going to take that position, even if it wasn't Canick. It was going to be another word. You know why? Because they got rid of the lawyers 2 months to trial. Who was going to represent R.Kelly? We're going to talk about it tonight, right here. So I'm going to need y'all to stay tuned because, baby, we are just getting started. Let's continue to break down this real important matter of what happens when withdrawing of a counsel takes place and why would an attorney request for a substitute. Let's listen.
That will, at this point, my interpretation and require for withdrawals.
Mr. Yates, so I have a few questions with regard to your motion. Is it your understanding that if the court grants your motion, your office will appoint a different attorney?
Sure.
And is it your understanding that, given the break communication that you've described, that a new attorney would do a fresh start with your client?
And I'm going to pause it again because the judge is asking the client, the attorney. So it's my understanding that by us allowing you to withdraw from counsel of this client, that your office is going to provide another attorney for this client. And just keep in mind, in this particular case, the only thing is this client is being represented by public defender. Okay, not a private attorney. So the public defender in him, conflict of interest, he feels he's ineffective, so he's withdrawing, but the public defender's office is going to appoint another attorney for this particular client. I want to give you guys some clarity on the matter that we are watching, and this is a real live court case that occurred.
I believe that would likely be the case, Your Honor. Obviously, I know that there's no more, if there's no more, what would happen if they were happy with it, but if there were a new council appointed, there would have to have more records, I believe, opportunity for new communications to begin and a fresh start as that board indicated.
And have you discussed this motion at all with your client?
So we pause it a little bit. So with him withdrawing and putting on a new counsel, this will give the new counsel basically a fresh start to not have to deal with any of the stuff that occurred in the last attorneys with himself, this matter being effective to his client. All that stuff pretty much is like wiping the slate clean.
Yeah, sure. I asked this question,
And he understands, as you've explained to him, potential results from your motion. Is that correct?
That's right. That's what I explained all that.
And you believe he understood that?
Yes, I do believe it. I also let the court know just as some additional information. There have been numerous motions by some of the co-defendants who previously, and those were ready for the next of the guys and everything.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, you're right. I'll say that.
Thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
My name is. I don't know if Mr. Yee withdrawing, but I do have a question. If he were to withdraw, is there going to be another public attorney?
So that was something I just discussed with Mr. Yee. Did you understand that discussion?
Right. But I'm also I'm trying to have a vote today. So I just have to motion that
That motion is not for me today. Okay?
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
I'll let the court know that Wynn has previously filed a motion to proceed pro se on this matter. That was heard before Judge Dix 15 weeks ago. It was denied at that time without prejudice. It's my understanding that Mr. Wynn continues to desire to represent himself. So obviously, if he wants to do that, he can renew his motion. But if I were to withdraw, substitute counsel would be appointed in the meantime. And obviously, the court would Mr. Wynn's motion to proceed pro se and would have that occurred.
Mr. Wynn, anything else for today?
So I want to pause it because that's where they started talking about the substitute of counsel. So basically, if this attorney comes off as a withdrawal, what he's requesting is that he stays on as a substitute. It's kind of like a withdrawal, but it's a substitute until this client gets another attorney. But why would Nicole wanted to even request a substitute to stay on as a substitute rather than to just withdraw? That's the main question. She wanted to stay attached, to stay in the now, to continue to expose herself as the leak and the mole that she is and has been during this entire case. Nicole Becker allegedly is one of the moles inside that was inside of the camp of attorneys that was representing R.Kelly. Okay, this case was thrown, and I'm going to show you guys some things that I believe is going to be used in this upcoming motion to Robert Sylvester Kelly at least get that conviction overturned and get a man another trial, which he will have a fair shot at because what he had was a trap that was set, put in motion by his former attorneys allegedly, and because of it and the way the traps were set, landed him with a conviction. Okay, so let's go over some of these things that was done after completion of this substitute of counsel, and just giving my viewers here at Pieces of the Puzzle, as we put these pieces together one piece at a time, understanding of what substitute of counsel is and why they would why one would request it. One would request it because it keeps them attached to the case, keeps them in the now. Jennifer did not want her attached. She wanted them all gone. She wanted them to withdraw. She wanted no association. She wanted no part in the setup, the takedown of Robert Sylvester Kelly, because she's not here for that. She don't want no parts of that. And I know what I feel. She sees what we see, and that's why they are all gone. Okay, we can't blame Kenneth the way you want to blame him, because again, if it wasn't him, it was going to be somebody. We're going to get there though. Let's continue the breakdown.
Ms. Stone, my only concern, I think it's what Mr. Reed has already indicated is that the breakdown of communication appears to be a pattern with this defendant, a group of defendants involved in this case, which is their counsel. I'm not sure how that issue gets resolved for the counsel. So I certainly have nothing in contrast to what Mr. was saying. Based on my own observations, that appears to present the case and this motion is understandable. I'm concerned about how this case proceeds. The continued communication balance between defense counsel and evidence.
It was the communication breakdown of the counsel and the client and the conflict. Okay, that's a lot to try to be dealing with when you're already dealing with your criminal matter, and then to have an ineffective counsel on top of that. Nah, like another crime being committed while you're trying to fight a crime. Come on now.
The court at this time is acting the motion, and I'm going to assume that with new counsel it's a fresh start, and that things will go better than they have with Mr. D.
You heard that? With new counsel, Jennifer Bonjean, it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start. Shout out to Jennifer. She got rid of the setup crew and the setup attorneys and setup crew. Like I said, everybody gone. House is clean. Didn't I tell y'all last year change was gonna come? Well, baby, it is here.
I appreciate the state's concern that there may be an issue that arises again. Frankly, if that were to happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it would certainly not be the first time. There have certainly been cases in the past where one or two or even three attorneys are unsuccessful in maintaining a relationship with a defendant such that multiple requests like that were made to the court. Not there yet, so I'm not going to presume that that's going to happen.
So it's not uncommon for a client to terminate 1, 2, even 3 of their attorneys, all of them, if they're ineffective. And Jennifer has told R.Kelly how ineffective his counsel is and has been, and what caused him to be convicted. Because we know he shouldn't have never, ever been convicted. So I'm going to take that off the screen. I think we're done with that. Okay. And I'm going to bring up on the screen this right here. We're going to talk about this ineffective counsel, okay? And we're going to go over this here. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Here we go. Go to this. Now I'm going to read this article to y'all. Okay, we fit to break down Nicole. You see her name right there, Big O. We fit to break her down a little bit. Before I break that down, let me get back on camera. Let me shout out everybody that's in the chat. Thank you, everybody that's in the chat. Please, okay. All I ask, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, baby. We fit to break some things down today about this ineffective counsel that we've all known was there. You know, we all called it out. it wasn't just a me thing. It was everybody over here at Pieces of the Puzzle who rocked with this channel and saw me call it out as I should have, because me calling it out was us calling it out, because together this is what we did. You know what I'm saying? You guys agreed with what we see, and because we put the pieces to the puzzle together one piece at a time, we agreed together. It is what it is. We're going to agree. We're going to disagree. We may not always agree, but at the same time, we're going to be able to dialogue about what we're seeing in this, what we see and saw in the takedown of R.Kelly. Okay. So now, before I go any further, I just want to go back a little bit for what I was just finishing up on that segment with why an attorney would request for a substitute of counsel, is to kind of stay attached to the case while you're transitioning with another attorney. But there was no need for Nicole to stay attached to this case in transitioning when there was already an attorney on record, which was Nicole Bonjean. Now, if that attorney that was representing that last client that I just showed y'all, in that real criminal matter of a case where the in a case where the client was requesting his counsel withdraw, because it was said that this was a request. So that was an example that I just gave you guys. If for some of you guys are just coming in that, if you missed it, you want to catch the play back. Now, if that lawyer would have continued to represent that client, he would have been continued to give that client ineffective counsel. Same thing like R.Kelly's case. If those attorneys would have stayed on his case all the way until sentencing, they would have been holding on to ineffective counsel. So the buck stopped right there. They no longer is getting paid. All the criminals that was getting paid off of R.Kelly is no longer getting paid. That means the PI check is cut. I'm going to emphasize him because, you know, he was dirty, and all of his associates and his affiliates whom you guys seen, have heard, witnessing, you guys see where the setup crew walks. You don't see them over here because they know they cannot get past my guard over here, because over here we really do support R.Kelly. Okay, you cannot manipulate this channel, you cannot control this channel, you definitely can't run this channel. I'm just a hard target like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hard cookie. So now I'm not an oatmeal. I do not crumble easy. Now, so Jennifer could have found how Kelz was receiving and been receiving ineffective counsel. This is one of the things that I'm alleging, my assumption that she saw with reviewing R.Kelly's case. Okay. And all her team that's involved in breaking this stuff down. I just heard her team, as you see on my thumbnail out there, was receiving and been receiving ineffective counsel. Nicole was trying to be slick. She was trying to use the substitute counsel in a way that it would have kept her attached to the case. But with the withdrawal, it released her for all of her duties as counsel. See, that's what a withdrawal does. It releases you of all her duties. That means you're no longer attached to this client, case, or anything, right? A substitute would have kept her attached to the client in the case. She still could go visit kids, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So now she's shut off communication. There's no more communication, and we're going to get into lack of communication that there is not, and how she was told that she could not how she was told that her services was no longer needed. Okay, so now Jennifer, so why would she want to file for a substitute? But like I said, Jennifer was going for it. She was going to go for the withdrawal because she was not going to accept the substitute again, because she knows that that keeps you attached. And if that's why that's I believe Jennifer would not move forward with that pre-trial motion and requested that additional 2 weeks, so that way everybody can be detached and disassociated. I mean, detached and dissociated from this case, so that way she'll have total control and access to everything that's going to happen moving forward without any attachment to the people setup crew allegedly. Okay, so Jennifer, she pulled the okay, so fake information. Okay, so yeah, so now now that Jennifer able to converse with her client, R.Kelly, get them to withdraw them from his case. Now, like I said before, there will be no more fake information that was coming out. None of that stuff going to be coming out more unless you are in direct communication, like I said, through court links to Mr. R.Kelly himself, or you talk directly to Jennifer, okay? And you don't talk to them too, baby, you ain't no more information coming out, unless it's coming out through them too at this point moving forward. And I will say, thank God, this is the way it's supposed to be. It was a breakdown of communication with R.Kelly and his former attorneys. He did not receive his discovery way back when he should have received his discovery. He was deprived of his own case. He was blindsided. He was railroaded. Baby, she's going to show all of this stuff that was done to Mr. Kelly, okay? Way back when, all the things he's been through that all his attorneys ignored. They did not, barely visited their own client. Even Steve Greenberg office directly across the street from the MCC Chicago. Okay, so when I tell you this was ineffective counsel from the start, they gambled with R.Kelly. They gambled with R.Kelly's time, left that at the end. Then they gonna blame Canick after all they failed to do. When all else failed, no one wanted to this real hot seat. So what they do is they blame Canick. Oh, it was Canick. He sunk the ship. The Titanic, okay? He sunk R.Kelly's ship. No, he did not. It was not Canick. It was Nicole, Tom, and like I said, if Canick was responsible for anything, if he did, let me just say it like this, okay? Because I know I like to keep it real, okay? If he was anything, in my honest opinion, I think he was deceived. He not he came in this blind, okay? And it was last minute. They needed somebody to go ahead and take this to trial. So again, everybody that was conspiring and everything that did happen, and if Canick had anything to do with this, when I get facts and receipts, then I will put myself on that at a later time. So let's just get into the breakdown again of the attorneys and all of their doing that caused this case to crumble the way it did. So a Brooklyn federal court judge grilled one of R.Kelly's lawyers due to a possible conflict of interest based on their interactions with one of the singer's accusers. They're talking about Nicole Becker, who has been fighting legal counsel for R.Kelly since March 2019. So she's been on the case since 2019. But yeah, you're going to blame Devereaux Canick. Came in 6 weeks, but she's been here 3 years. Try with somebody else who don't see the setup. Was on the hot seat Thursday morning as Judge Ann Donnelly quizzed her about her connections to Doe 5 and Joycelyn Savage. Jane Doe 5 says she was victimized by the R.Kelly star, while Savage was a girlfriend and is a potential defense witness at the trial. Okay, that's why Joycelyn was supposed to have been a witness potentially at the trial, but something happened where she did not testify because people was keeping people out the courtroom. And we've heard that about Honda's sister statement that she also was told to go home and that they would just use her statement as a add-on. Even while she was Reverend Kelly, born Robert Sylvester Kelly, Nicole Becker was texting, FaceTiming, and escorting the two women to court, according to a lawyer for the two women, which we saw again, Nicole escorting Azriel and Joycelyn to R.Kelly's bond hearing, which he was denied by that time, and then not even on the arrangements of the seatings, but Nicole sat with Azriel and Joycelyn at that hearing, okay? Kelly is accused of having sex with Jane Doe number 5, whose name is R.Kelly, while she was underage in 2015. He also gave her allegedly herpes, which that ain't true, without telling her he was infected and made child of her, according to the indictment. Okay. Savage, meanwhile, was a living girlfriend of Kelly's, who's publicly supported, I believe, the fly singer at his arraignment. The two women were in a throuple with Kelly when he was charged, living with him in Chicago and even going too far as to defend him in an interview with Gayle King. But Clary has since turned on him, and even before leaving Kelly. On July 16, 2019, the two women was escorted to court by Nicole Becker. Okay, while they attended Kelly's court appearance, where he was denied. Hold on, where he was denied. Lawyer admitted Thursday. Yes, they asked me to come. And here's Nicole's statement right here, you guys. Yes, they asked me to come down when they arrived and walk with them because of the media, Becker says. Now, let me just ask you a question. You being an attorney, Ms. Becker, you would know better that what you're doing is unlawful because you do not represent them, okay? Now, and they're not your clients, and you represent R.Kelly, you should have knew what a lawyer can do and what a lawyer cannot do. So this right here, where I again says this was a setup, because she should have known what she could and could not do. She knew better, but yet she was doing ineffective things right here, and this was going to cause her to have a Caruso hearing because of ineffective behavior and the conflict of interest that caused Mr. Kelly. Right here, this is the beginning of it. Okay, she appeared in the court with them because they wanted to have her basically be their bodyguard. Okay, accompany her, and she's not being paid to be the bodyguard. The trio sat in court behind Kelly that day, Becker said. Okay, but now she's telling them that they all three of them sat together. So see, Nicole was putting all this stuff in play. She was playing her role. She was playing her position. So this is what you're seeing is Nicole play her part. Okay, now Becker said she spoke with Savage 20 times. So now Becker is giving a statement, y'all. This is Nicole Becker giving a statement. She said she spoke with Joycelyn Savage 20 times via text, FaceTime, and in person. But that she made clear she ripped Kelly. Basically, she was working for Kelly and not them. I said to them, this is Nicole telling on herself, okay? She's giving a clear statement. I said to them on multiple occasions, I am Mr. Kelly's lawyer, not yours. Baby, you shouldn't have to say that on multiple occasions, but one time. Because once you say it once, you ain't got to say it no more. A lawyer stands on her word. You did not stand on your word if you had to tell these people multiple times, I am Mr. Kelly's lawyer, not yours. Becker said, I said that to them several times. And when she went wrong right there, she was throwing R.Kelly's case because she said it several times. That means you had several conversations. The women are now represented by lawyer Gloria Rodriguez, who found a sealed letter described the potential conflict of interest for Nicole Becker earlier that week. Okay, the hearing Thursday was to determine whether or not Becker could represent Kelly despite actions, or whether the relationship between Becker and the women was a waivable issue and could be resolved. No, it's not waivable at all. It's a true huge, humongous conflict of interest. But anyway, by not having Nicole Becker cross-examine Azriel Clary when she testifies at trial. And they thought that that was going to be effective enough to still give counsel. That's where the ineffective counsel comes in at, because you're not able to give your full effective counsel to this to your client, but yet you still want to stay on as his lawyer. Why did Nicole stay on as Kelly lawyer when she knew right here when she had this hearing that it was a conflict of interest. And just because they were going to take Azriel off the table was not good enough, because she should have been able to cross-examine Azriel if that's what she chose to do. But you rather take Azriel off the table because that was a part of the setup, is to not cross-examine Azriel. We always knew if she was able to cross-examine Azriel, she would tear a hole in Azriel's story. The truth would come out. R.Kelly was innocent. Azriel will crumble up on that stage because you're going up against a former prosecutor as a now defense attorney. So she threw that case by convincing R.Kelly to keep her on as his attorney. So here you have it right here, where the ineffective counsel comes into play, where Nicole Blank-Becker is responsible, and this is why she should be case, which she is now off the case, thank God, okay, and should have never been on the case, even at the time she was even communicating. And once the ladies' attorneys asked her to not communicate with their client, and she continued to communicate with them, knowing that that was considered ineffective counsel towards your client, and it caused her not be able to cross-examine Azriel. Come on now, that was part of the setup. Wake up, y'all. Anybody that's defending her, guess what? That's still a part of the go along, get along gang, and that's still a part of the setup crew, because them the people that's trying to protect the wrongs that they do and try to sweep under the rug and hurry up and be so quick to blame somebody. Who we gonna blame? Let's blame the Titanic. Let's blame Panic. Not with all that we over here on what Nicole Blank-Becker done, okay? And you want to blame Panic for the things he did in the last 4 seconds of the game? I think not. Okay. Anyway, Kelly is set to head to trial. Okay, we know all of that. Now, what else is on Nicole up in here? His lawyer have squabbled the last 2 weeks over. Okay, so let's continue to read it. Kelly is set to head to trial in August. Prosecutors will try to prove he had that racketeering scheme and all that mess. Okay, boom. His lawyers have squabbled the last 2 weeks over who will represent him. With one lawyer, Steve Greenberg, tells the Daily News that Nicole Blank-Becker, okay, here we go. Steve Greenberg is telling these people, this is Steve Greenberg's words, that Nicole Blank-Becker and another lawyer, Tom Farinella, are really effing R.Kelly over. Okay? You see how everybody that's a part of the setup and the takedown is telling on each other? So it's no different from what you guys saw out here with certain bloggers that will go at it with each other. Get along, go along. And I'm not, I'm just saying, get along, go along. You know what I'm saying? You still see them forming alliances to this day. They ain't gonna come over here. They're not going to support this platform, and that's okay. I don't need them. You know why? Because I got you guys, and we have the support of Robert Sylvester Kelly himself, so we good over here. You know what I'm saying? We good over here. So let's continue to break this down. Judge Don Anley has not yet ruled on the blanker thing at that time. Okay, let me come back on camera. Let me holler at y'all. Let's see what y'all saying up in this chat. You know what I'm saying? And we're done with that. Okay? We done with that. Now, is y'all need a little bit more? I mean, because I got a lot more to say. Let me just read some of the comments. Let me see what y'all say in the chat. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys very much. I am your host, Sexy Pieces. If you guys are, thank you so very much for coming over here to this channel to get some real updated content, some raw thoughts on how I feel about this Robert Sylvester Kelly takedown and what Jennifer Bonjean is about to do moving forward with this mission now that she's gotten everybody detached from Sylvester Kelly, and now they can focus on this motion that they are so ready to present to us supporters as well as the judge and get this man vindicated. Okay, let's get this man vindicated. Canic just stood in so they couldn't make the case unrepairable Koenig doesn't practice in Illinois. Yeah, and I don't know where it's being said that Koenig was going to come. I think it was a question asked, would Koenig represent R.Kelly in Chicago, but he never gave an answer because he said he couldn't get there until he crossed that road. Since we never got to that road, as we can clearly see, we don't need to elaborate any further on if he's going to be coming or not. It's very clear at this point, no, he will not, and no other attorneys for that matter who was attached once before will probably never come back. I think they just did really classy. I think they dressed it up very professional, and it just keeps peace in these YouTube streets, as well as for his R.Kelly supporters. It just keeps us calm to know that the way they did it, but we know what we know. We can clearly see something ain't right in that rents over there, and some things have been found, and so because of it, so because of it, it's being exposed. Okay, so here is another. Make sure I got this. Okay. Select this one. Okay. This one. All right. Okay, something has happened where that one froze, but I still have it right over. Another. There's another. This one right here. Okay. All right, let's just go back. Let's see. All right, I can't read it. I have to let the audio read it. Hopefully it'll play. Okay. Well, I have it here on my phone. Hopefully I can read it. This one says, another key member. Hold on, let me get back on camera. Okay. I'm still going to post it, even though it's frozen, but I'm still going to show y'all. Like, that's moving, but it's not letting me scroll my screen up and down. Just let me touch the mouse on this one. So anyway, I have it over here. It says a key attorney for indicted singer R.Kelly has abruptly asked to withdraw from the federal case against him in New York, potentially throwing his legal team into further disarray just a week before jury selection is to begin there. Guess who's behind this scene? Yep, you guessed it. Nicole Blank Becker. Let me get back on camera so I can see. Guessed it. Nicole Blank Becker, who took over the case in June. So she took over the case in June, where she was at upon a time the lead attorney. Okay, back in June, mind you, she had the Carricio hearing. She stayed on. We gonna break all that down. Who took over the case? In June, R.Kelly said he wanted to part ways with his two Chicago-based attorneys, filed her motion to withdraw last week under seal, according to court records and sources who spoke to the about the matter. Hold on, it says loading. Hold on. Over the weekend, an order from U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly appeared briefly on the public docket, giving Becker until 5 p.m. to submit a letter privately to the judge supporting her request to withdraw. Okay, So she was trying to withdraw even after the Carricio hearing. So over the weekend, an order for U.S. District Judge Donnelly appeared briefly on the public docket, giving Becker till 5 p.m. Monday to submit a letter privately to the judge supporting the request to withdraw. Okay, she was trying to jump out a week before trial started. The submission was to be made ex parte, meaning prosecutors would not get to see it. Okay, the reason for her requests are unclear. No one knew why. She didn't give no reasons, and it's not known whether the judge will grant it, though. Okay, the motion is expected to be discussed on Tuesday at Kelly's final pretrial conference in U.S. District Court in Brooklyn. Contract by phone Monday. Nicole Blank Becker to comment on the situation. We'll find out tomorrow. Remember, that's what she said, because I remember. The development comes as Becker and her co-attorneys hit back on a request by federal prosecutors to admit new evidence. Look, so she tried to jump out the case just as new development was coming in. So it says the development comes as Nicole Blank Becker and her co-attorneys hit back on a request by federal prosecutors to admit new evidence of sexual abuse at trial, saying in a court filing over the weekend they were blindsided and have no time to prepare an adequate defense. So she knew they didn't have time, but yet keep blaming Canic, okay? Keep blaming Titanic, sink the ship, okay? My mechanic was fixing the ship because Nicole was poking holes in the damn ship, allegedly. Okay? Now, the development comes as Becker and her co-attorneys hit back on the request by federal prosecutors to admit new evidence of sexual abuse at trial, saying in a court filing over the weekend they were blindsided and have no time to prepare an adequate defense. The motion asks Donnelly to deny prosecutors' attempt to add 15 new alleged victims. See, the prosecutors was filed a motion asking Donnelly to deny prosecutors attempting to add 15 new alleged victims to the case. This is when they going in their monkey wrench, and this is prosecutors was playing games and the attorneys was playing with them allegedly, and that's how they were able to stall R.Kelly's time until it was time, just in time for trial, to throw this monkey wrench in there. That's why they kept saying they were holding the they're not giving them the evidence, and then they're trying to only allow 2 weeks to prepare for trial, and that's when they were going to release the evidence 2 weeks prior to trial, and that's what they did. They released this evidence upon us 2 weeks prior to trial, which was trying to add, which they did, 15 alleged victims to the case, which alleged conspiracy by Kelly to use his music career to serve his own illegal sexual appetites. Given the newness of trial, the defense is not given ample amount of time to ensure an adequate opportunity to access evidence, the purposes for which the evidence is offered, and whether prosecutors a legal basis for their request. Nicole and attorney Thomas Farinella wrote in the 13th motion late that Friday, though, okay? Late. Now, Kelly 54 is scheduled to go on trial in Brooklyn on the 9th for all them charges that he was facing, right? Recruited all that mess they was talking. The allegations in the indictment include dozens, we heard on false narratives that they put out there that everyone allegedly was going with. As we saw, it was a get along narrative that concluding conviction because people all failed to hold their weight and they should have done. Only person was in there fighting that looked like he didn't know what was going on, and this man looked innocent, and I'm fit to come here and fight for this man's life. Okay, y'all better put some respect on the cannon. I'm just saying, until I see something that shows did something wrong, I'm just saying that man fought, and I'm telling you what I saw in that courtroom. I didn't see that coming for no other attorney in that courtroom but that man. And I'm not saying that because I got along with him. I got along with all of them. I got a picture with Nicole. I got a picture with Scholar. I got a picture with Canic. I got a picture with all of them. So this is not about favoritism. This is about right is right and wrong is wrong. And I didn't see him do any wrong. And y'all heard what I reported. Okay, so if y'all can make your own decision, just go back and watch videos of me recording from the and get your own perspective and perception of how you conclude you got from what I expressed, how it was going in that courtroom. You come with your own conclusion. Did it sound like that man was fighting? Did it sound like that was on the case? Okay. Now, but a 55-page motion filed July 23rd. They want to bring in additional evidence. See, the prosecutors coming in July 23rd. Mind you, the trial is starting August 18th. Now, that ain't nothing but a short right around the corner. And then here you got Ken coming in the month before the motion was added to add the 55-page motion, okay, filed July 3rd. He came in a month earlier on the 21st of June. Now, prosecutors said they want to bring in additional evidence involving sexual abuse, hush payments, unlawful imprisonment, and other crimes dating back 30 years. So this is when they're throwing in the 30-year backpedaling stuff, going back 30 years, trying to add in all this stuff that should never, ever be presented in this man's trial because it had nothing to do with the allegations that he was fighting and what his actual charges should have been. He was overcharged. I believe she's going to find that out. I believe she's going to reveal the fact that they do this 55-page motion in to try to bring in this additional evidence, which they was able to bring in, okay, involving sexual abuse, the hush payments, unlawful imprisonments, and other crimes dating back 30 years that are directly relevant to and inextricably intertwined with the evidence of the charged crime. This is what they stated. Among the new evidence, prosecutors wanted the juries to hear Kelly allege sexual abuse at 17-year-old boy he met. This is the stuff that they was able to get in that should have never came in. This is what Jennifer is going to see. She's going to see how the ineffective counsel let this slide on in. They didn't let this slide in. They let this slide in, if you get my drift. Allegedly, okay? Allegedly, they let this stuff slide in. Allegedly, to throw their own client under the bus, allegedly, which we saw. They had everything lined all up. They did pick the lawyer because they wanted someone whom they felt they can control. They wanted, and if you think about it, if you think about the way things was looking at that trial, the way people was hovering around Devereaux County, it was a controlled situation. I got pictures, videos, I got things that I have yet to even present to you guys. I have so much stuff. I have so many I can go back so far to the beginning and bring you guys back up to speed. For some of you guys, I'm telling you, this stuff that I have is just too much. But anyway, among the new evidence prosecutors did bring in, wanted the jury to hear was the sexual abuse of a 17-year-old boy he met at Chicago McDonald's in December 2006. He secretly arranged to marry Aaliyah to shield himself from criminal charges, what they was alleging. Got her pregnant, which found out in trial she never was pregnant. The man never had sex with her, never touched Aaliyah, and they was never really legally married. Okay, and he allegedly they did get married. Don't let me twist this up. They did have a ceremony, but it was not legal. Okay, and nothing never went through to the court's clerk. The proper channels was not taken, so it was not a legitimate situation. Okay, it was for whatever their purpose. I'm going to make an excuse, but that is from criminal charges after he allegedly got pregnant, and he allegedly talked about bribing a Cook County clerk, which we know he did nothing, had nothing. These are the things that the prosecutors threw in the end, and this is what ultimately got R.Kelly convicted. The fact that they said he bribed the Cook County clerk, the fact that they said he married underage Aaliyah, the fact that that they brought in the John Doe boy saying that he had sex with him. Those three things plus Azriel and the rest of the people who came and testified against him got him convicted. It was nothing pertaining to the charges and allegations that he had been facing and fighting. Kelly's lawyer said in a response that prosecutors blindsided them with the allegations. Yeah, they blindsided you. Now you still got to fight back to stop this information from coming in. They did nothing, and it got in. That's why this ineffective counsel shouldn't have been on the case, and not that they was ineffective. They deemed themselves to be ineffective because they didn't do anything to be effective, to keep him from being this information from coming in. None of this stuff should have came in. Kelly's lawyer said in response that his blindsided allegations about sexual abuse of the boy. That was blindsided to the world. What are you talking about? We never heard no mess like that before, ever. Okay, so which was the first to involve a male victim and would have led to additional questions about sexual orientation on the questionnaire that went out to potential jurors last month. So the jurors did not have proper jurors instructions. These are the things that I'm alleging is going to come out in this upcoming pretrial motion that Jennifer is going to find. All these mistakes that was made during this pretrial time for Robert Sylvester Kelly. So I truly do believe these are things that's going to get him a new trial. Let's see. The new allegations also contended that the boy identified only as John Doe number one, introduced a second teenager. See how the two boys was connected to each other. So they was already coming in together because they've already done dirt before in the past together. Doe and John Doe 1 and 2 actually were former friends. They had a fallout, but I believe the fallout didn't happen until after this situation surrounding R.Kelly. Because prior to that, they had done some criminal activities together, which they got caught trying to rob John Doe number one off his former employment, and they got caught that, and then John Doe number one ran off with some money, threw John Doe number two under the bus, not once, not twice, but seems like several times in the past, and then they got in on let's try to get on this train to try to come up off R. Kelly as well, and let's see how that's working out for them as well as the rest. The topic of sexual orientation has become a controversial as politics, Kelly's attorneys wrote. This topic would have been ripe for questioning in the questionnaire. There is no but see, all this stuff they're communicating with the magazine, the Tribune, and the Daily News, and all the other news outlets. They could have been putting all this information in a well put together motion to get all this stuff sequestered to not have been able to come in. Rather than do it that way, they thinking they're winning something over by winning the media, but they really wasn't. They really got towed up in the media. This topic would have been right for the questionnaire and the jury questionnaring. There's no questions that the only purpose for which government seeks to introduce evidence from the John Does is purely salacious and sensational reasons. We know it was sensational. We know it was salacious, and you guys knew it, and you guys, again, allegedly did not do much to get that, sequestered, to not come in. The motion also stated there was absolutely no physical proof or circumstantial proof that new allegations involving Aaliyah identified in the indictment as Jane Doe 1 are true. They had nothing to prove true to that, and I agree. And even if there was such evidence, she can't be questioned about it, which is a true statement, because she always maintained, even before her passing and even through death, is nothing out there past that says she's ever admitted to any of these allegations. She's always remained that she did not do the things that she was alleged that there was alleging of her and R.Kelly. Was never married. She always said they were never married, and stopped listening to the rumors. Okay, she died in a plane crash, we know, over 20 years ago. Therefore, the additional information the government seeks to introduce regarding Aaliyah is nothing more than conjecture in an effort to further shape their narrative, the motion stated. Okay, Kelly's attorneys also objected to prosecutors fail to identify the alleged new victims by name, which they say puts that at a disadvantage when it comes to adequately preparing cross-examination of witness. Donnelly is expected to rule, which we know how that turned out. The new evidence can come into the was going to have that. Opening statements are scheduled for August 18th. The trial is expected to last. Okay, so Kelly, who is okay, so that was that article, and that's the one that you guys I put up on the screen here, but unfortunately that one froze, so I wasn't able to share that one with you in the actual reading. But here is some more information as it pertains to, let's see who's this one is about. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. To you guys, and let me get it back in the chat before I start reading and then ranting and going on with this stuff. This pretrial motion will have supporting evidence with case law cited. Exactly, it definitely will. If you would like to, thank you, thank you. Let me see. Turning in here. Okay. All right. Let me get you guys into this one really quickly. And then we have one more and then we should be good. Okay, so this one says the indicted singer R.Kelly faced a federal case in Chicago was officially in a holding pattern Thursday amid ongoing turmoil with Kelly's legal team and a racketeering trial in New York. So let's go back to the date of this one. Okay, let's just go back to the date. This one is July 15, 2021. So all this fighting just came out right before trial. Okay, look at all this mess that's dumping off just before August. This is July 2021. Trial was August 18th. That ain't but less than a month from trial. Okay, now the indicted singer like I said, was put on hold the pattern Thursday amid ongoing turmoil with Kelly's legal team and a looming racketeering trial in New York. Attorneys for both sides told U.S. District Judge Harry Ledwinber during a telephone status hearing that it would be impossible to go to trial in Chicago as planned in September due to uncertainty with his racketeering case in Brooklyn, okay, which was scheduled to begin on the 9th. Assistant U.S. Attorney Janice Appleton told the judge, we are now in what appears to be indefinite holding pattern. This is an indefinite situation in the Chicago case, which could include two co-defendants who had previously demanded trial. In light of the uncertainty, Ledwinber agreed to scuttle the trial date for the fourth time since Kelly was indicted in July 2019. He set a status hearing for August 17th to see if the New York case actually starts. Okay, Lord knows what may happen between now and the start of that trial, Ledwinber said. The delay came on the same day the judge in Kelly's case held a hearing. That's when Jennifer must be talking about me. Shout out to you, Jennifer. You must be talking about me, baby, because I just accidentally said your name, honey boo. Yes, I did. Shout out to you. But this is the same day of the Carricio hearing of Nicole Becker. Okay, so the delay came on the day of the judge in Kelly's New York case held a Carricio hearing into whether one of the singer's new attorneys has conflicts due to her previous contact with a witness and alleged victim in the indictment. So Joycelyn was going to be the witness, okay? Azriel was going to be the victim, okay? And that now through this hearing, Nicole can no longer cross-examine Azriel, let alone Joycelyn. You know what I'm saying? Because of her conflict that she's communicating with someone who had representation by Rodriguez. Okay, U.S. District Attorney, U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly said she wanted Kelly to be fully informed. Listen, Judge, this is the only credit I think I can actually give to Judge Ann Donnelly is because whether people like her or not, okay, this lady was really trying to help R.Kelly. She really trying right here. And I'm fit to show you how she was trying to help R.Kelly. U.S. Judge Ann Donnelly said she wanted Kelly to be fully informed of the potential problems with attorney Nicole Becker before deciding whether to continue to have her represent him at trial. Okay, she was really trying to make sure he understood the problems with the S, plural, the problems with Nicole blank Becker. Okay. Now, before she continued to have Nicole represent him at trial, she needed to make sure he was fully informed. Now, after hearing testimony on Thursday, Donnelly informed Kelly that Nicole blank Becker may have had improper communication in 2019 with the two women, okay, who were represented at the time by Chicago attorney Gloria Rodriguez Schmidt. Those conflicts could preclude Nicole blank Becker from questioning them, okay? Not just Azriel, but also Joycelyn. That's why she said them at trial. That's not good because he needs her to cross-examine them. This is why you're here. But no, by her not cross-examining them, Joyce don't get called, Azriel don't get cross-examined. You get it? Joycelyn don't get called to the stand as a witness on the defense team. She could have been number 6. They said he only had 5, but number 6 didn't show up. Why number 6 show up? I'll wait. I'll let y'all figure that out. y'all keep waiting for it. Okay. Yeah, we'll see it. Kelly said he was willing to weigh the potential conflict and keep Nicole blank Becker on the team. Damn. And so Nicole, remember, to be all in R.Kelly's ears, y'all. So she all up in his ears. She telling him, she ain't Kelly, and you know what I'm saying, we gonna win this, you know what I'm saying? But when I get up there, don't even trip when I be like, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna find you guilty. This is a part of my strategy. You know what I'm saying? This happens sometimes when you are a former prosecutor and you're so used to prosecuting people. You know, you just make these type of mistakes. Who making excuses for her? Who what? Okay. Anyway, back to breaking her down and piece by piece over here like we do at Pieces of the Puzzle. Pieces. Now, even as the conflict issues was being resolved, Kelly's new legal team, which came aboard last month, okay, after Kelly's Chicago-based attorney Steve Greenberg and Michael Leonard filed a motion to withdraw, appeared to be running a full court press to get the Brooklyn trial delayed. Press. The new lawyers on Thursday filed the latest in a string of motions alleging they've been unable to effectively review evidence with Kelly at the federal jail in Brooklyn, where they say they've been denied everything from internet access to sticky notes, highlighters, and hard drives containing thousands of pages of evidence. So here we have it already right here where there's a problem with things that's not effectively being granted to Mr. Kelly. So the new lawyers on Thursday filed the latest in the string of motions alleging they've been unable to effectively see. So Kenny came in and already is unable to effectively review R.Kelly's evidence. So this is what Jennifer allegedly is going to find in this and why we'll be getting another trial, because already coming in there was evidence of ineffectiveness of the information that should have been given over to this attorney, okay, with Kelly at the federal jail Brooklyn, where they say they've been denied everything from internet access. So the fact that they was denied all this information, denied everything from the internet access to all the sticky notes and the highlighters and the hard drives containing thousands of pages of evidence. Okay. That's why they should get another trial, because of the things that they was not able to prepare for. If the government were required, here they go. Government were required to prepare for this case without their computers, internet, iPads, tablets, and phones, perhaps we would have no room to notify this court of our concerns, Kelly's lawyers wrote in the motion. So that shots, they're being sarcastic in the time where it's very serious, and they should have been fighting to get the things that they need. But hey, this is what's going on. So the motion also stated that the notion that Mr. Kelly can receive a fair trial based on these circumstances is not practical. So here they note it's not practical unless see what happens from here. So Kelly 54 was indicted 2019. They recruited. Okay, so we know all of this junk. He also faces, we know all that junk. Greenberg told Weber during Thursday's status hearing that he and Leonard have yet to talk to Kelly about their continued representation of him in Chicago, but in all likelihood, they would eventually be seeking to withdraw from the case. So it was already known that they were going to withdraw from this case in Chicago as well. For those who may have been somewhat surprised that Greenberg was coming off, it was always known to me that once he was off New York, he was eventually going to come off Chicago. But hey, there you have it. Let me take that off the screen. Let me get back on the screen with y'all. And then let's go to pretty much the last one. Let me go back up here. Okay. And this is where the judge, Donnelly, calls out a lawyer. I guess that would be, let's see who it is. Okay. We come back here. Almost to the chat in a second. All right, y'all. Yeah, and somebody had to be the fall guy, so now they want to drag Kanik as if Kanik is responsible for the things that they're responsible for, and all of that stuff. So yeah, yeah, y'all seeing what. I'm gonna make sure we break it down over here, because you have to remember the same people that's attacking. If you're attacking Kanik, myself, or anyone else, then you're not for R.Kelly. They're still out there. These people advantage because now it's hard for them to get to R.Kelly. Now R.Kelly can start feeling his royalty. Now R.Kelly is being, carved and shaped, and all that stuff that meant him no good can finally come off now. And all the people who meant him no good, anybody who once had access to R.Kelly no longer has access to R.Kelly. Like I said, unless you're connected through Core Link. If you ain't connected through Core Link, you don't have no direct connection to Mr. R.Kelly himself or his attorney, Jennifer Bonjean. Guess what? You have no communication and no connection. So guess what? No more mess. No more drama. Free R.Kelly is what we yelling. Okay, let's go. A federal judge in Brooklyn on Thursday told the attorneys representing R.Kelly, 54, in his racketeering and sex trafficking case to keep her in fight out of her courtroom. Okay, see how they were fighting? Let's go back to the date of this article. I'll just try to scroll up real fast. You know, I don't like to see Miss Kelly looking like that. I think it's disgraceful, and that's what they were trying to do. Now, this is July the 8th. Okay, that's July 8th. Of 2021, mind you, Kanik just came on the scene June 21st. This is July 8th. That ain't even 2 weeks in. Okay, let's just keep that in mind, y'all. Let's just keep that in thought. Remember, these people, Nicole Blankbecker, Tom Fernella, they all been on the case from the start. I only knew they the fall guy. Nicole don't want to be fall gal. Tom don't want to take the fall. Nobody want to take this hit. We got to get somebody in here. Who can we take? Who can take this hit? You know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. This was all about the takedown. I told y'all it was process elimination. If they could have eliminated me from the support system, they would have. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to associate. I didn't want to go along with the get along, so I had to go with the slander and the attacks and the drama. And I don't even know nobody. You know what I'm saying? It was just a mess. But hey, look where we are to be so focused over here, pieces. Make sure you guys don't do nothing else. Hit that like button. Take 1 minute out and hit the like button. Don't do it now, but do it now. Let's get the likes up to 100, y'all. All I ask y'all is hit the like button. If you like this content so far, y'all like when I come on, and I give y'all the real raw and uncut. I say what I mean what I say. Keep it real all day, every day. I'm a Frisco's chick. I'm Frisco's finest. California, West Coast does it the best coast. I'm just saying, but shout out to all coasts for that matter. And shout out to y'all in the chat, because y'all matter. You know what I'm saying? Because over here together, we putting these pieces to the puzzle together. Period. Now hit that like button, y'all. For real, for real. A federal judge in Brooklyn Thursday, like I said, they said to keep the infighting out her courtroom, saying it was the first time she's seen such behavior among co-counsel for a client. Okay? She ain't never seen nothing like this over the counsel for a client. They all going crazy because they got R.Kelly as their client, and none of them don't know how to handle the status of a celebrity. It's the A-lister, and then they all dealing with the criminals who got him in this situation. Every last one of them had communication with Don Russell himself and all the rest of them. Every last one of them talked as real Clary and Joycelyn Savage. Okay, you're preaching tonight. Let me stop preaching. Let me get my preaching voice. You know, they all talk to them don't know good folks over there. They all did the doggone fool. You know what I'm saying? They did. Now, you know, and they still hanging around. Act like they done something and they reported something. You can't take the credit of Bonjean. I'm going to have to bring some more attorneys on here and ask some serious questions of what can be done by civilians on the outside. How do we complain about certain documentations about our feelings? I just got questions. I just got questions, y'all. I just got questions, okay? As we should. Ain't no better way of knowing what we don't know if we don't ask these questions. I just want to know, can I write a complaint? How do I, you know what I'm saying, get down with the get down? Not the get down crew, but with the get down. Now, presiding over a pretrial hearing concerning the motion to have the Grammy-winning was released on bond before his trial next month. Judge and Donnelly said the mud-slinging between Kelly's new legal team, the new one now they're messing with Cannon, okay? He ain't been there 2 weeks and they're already messing with the Cannon, okay? Because he come in there with his mechanical gear and all his mechanical stuff to come and really help R.Kelly. They don't like him because he really came in here and helped R.Kelly. He did what he was supposed to do, but not what they wanted him to do. And he came there and he fought the fight, and he saw the support out there from the loudmouth, me, you know what I'm saying, and others, because it wasn't just me. But since they want to put me at the hem of it, I'll go ahead and take a little bit of credit. Anyway, I'm just saying. I sure in the hell did support him. Who support a man in there fighting like that? He was fighting like Jennifer out here fighting in clean house and got rid of everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's what he just did. That's what he was doing. So what he did and what Jennifer is going to do is going to go hand in hand. But they all had to go, okay? But what he did and set in motion for a pretrial motion for Jennifer to handle, baby, honey, let me tell y'all, he put it in motion. He made it easy for Jennifer to call them fouls out, okay, for what he did have. Because, mind you, they was trying to keep it from Cannon. They didn't want to give it to Cannon. Remember, he had to go to Greenberg to get it because Nicole and them was holding evidence back. How could you hold evidence back from counsel? And we working for the man. But ain't that the same thing y'all see out here in YouTube streets? People fighting each other over the same person we supposed to be supporting? What sense does that make? Something ain't right at rents. That means either ain't for him or you for him. It's one or the other. It looks like Nicole and them wasn't for him. Cannick was. So therefore, it is what it is. Even though they all own. Period. Now you have it to where I'm really for R.Kelly, but then you still got folks out there that ain't for the man. I ain't gonna fight with none of them, but I'll let be. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, know better, we do better. We're in a different place. 2022. Shout out to everybody that made it. God bless us, each and every one of us, baby. Now, it's so unseemly. I'm not here to mediate a dispute amongst lawyers and exasperate it. He remarked about the squabbling. She then added that she never had a situation where co-counsel has behaved like Kelly's attorneys in her courtroom before. See, they already came up in there with the messing around and starting trouble with the new guy who coming to fight because he didn't know what we knew. And they couldn't put it all and turn around in time to get him to go along with the get along. So the trial went on, and Koenig did what he could while coming there and said, this is why we're going to find the client guilty, and why Koenig was up in there fighting like he was fighting for his life. That's what I got from that. I was there. I'm not going to listen to a bunch of people who was not there, who didn't even try to be there, didn't donate nothing to go there, or anybody else that was there. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you what I saw. You guys are getting it from somebody who saw with her own eyes and heard with her own ears. When God said, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, okay? I seen and heard because he allowed me to be there to hear, to report to you guys the truth that nobody else gonna tell y'all. Salute to everybody in the chat. Please, again, hit that like button. That's all I ask. The Kelly's legal team was exposed during a hearing last month. So it finally came out because it was already happening when he told Judge Donnelly that he no longer wanted his Chicago-based defense attorney, Greenberg and Michael. See, they was getting to Kelz. They was getting to Kelz. They was confusing him. They was messing with him. They knew he had this disability in terms of understanding and learning wise, okay? Because the man is a genius and he's smart, he can communicate, he can articulate, he's everything. But at the same time, we've heard, so therefore they was getting to Kelz. He didn't know what to do at this point. You know what I'm saying? So got rid of Greenberg, which was a good move. I ain't mad at it. Michael Leonard, I ain't mad at it. Shouldn't have been there. They were setting them up. But they set it up to make him, force him to have to release them of their duties because they wanted him to do that. They needed him to do that to look like, that it was his choice and not their choice. So anyway, to represent him during his New York trial without getting into specifics, Greenberg alleges the members of Kelly's legal team, Thomas Farinella and Nicole, cannot deal with stress and have documented mental health issues. Did you guys know that Thomas Farinella and Nicole Beck had documented mental health issues? Are you guys aware of that? Yeah, right here, it says right here, okay, that both Tom Farinella and Becca both have documented. It's in documents that they have mental issues. Okay, they went a little crazy up in there, allegedly. Greenberg also slammed the two attorneys in an explosive interview with the New York Daily News, where he said Farinella and Becker were really effing Kelly over. So, like I said, they was torn. People wanted to help, people didn't want to help because they was, whatever the situation was, whatever their reason was, alleged. Something happened and it caused all this to transpire, and it couldn't have just been by accident. It was all designed in the plan. Farinella and Becker last week filed a 12-page emergency motion seeking to have Kelly released on bond. Now they think they can come in here and file another motion. They was trying to continue to do things, and that's the focus is in the wrong place. Now they're still focusing on bond a few weeks prior to the trial about to start. They should have been focusing on motions to suppress the evidence. They were filing the wrong motions on purpose. This is all a part of the game, allegedly. The motion claimed that the attorneys had not had sufficient access to Kelly to prepare a defense, and alleged that Greenberg and Leonard failed provide Kelly with discovery materials from the case. Denied the allegations to the Chicago Tribune this week, filed a response with the court that is currently being kept under seal. Judge Donnelly took issues with the allegations and the emergency motions, including an insinuation that when Kelly was in Chicago, his conversations with attorneys were being recorded. Donnelly asked if such an allegation brought to the attention to the judge presiding over Kelly's case in Chicago. Farinella said it had not been. Here's more stuff that could have gotten this case dismissed, because there was allegations that the attorneys was having conversations that was being recorded, and the judge asked that these were serious allegations that was brought to the judge's attention. She wanted to know, did anybody bring any of this information to the attention of this information to the judge that was presiding over R.Kelly's case in Chicago? And Farrell said it had not been. So they wasn't doing their job. They were stuff slipping on their watch, but then you want to say Titanic is the Titanic that sunk the ship. No, Tom Farinella, Steve Greenberg, Doug Anton, Mike Leonard, everybody who left R.Kelly, Blank Becker, might as well say she was not there, but she was there in the body, but her mind wasn't there. Donnelly also asked, why did Farinella and Blank Becker had waited so long to claim Kelly was not receiving discovery material requested while in detention? So Donnelly was asking these questions, you know, but let's see. That's a good question. A seemingly nervous Farinella responded. Yeah, you nervous because what you're doing is throwing this client's case and you're doing it in our face and acting like we the people don't see what we see. Okay. After a long pause, he told Donnelly that everything in the motion was based on his good faith understanding of what had happened, though some things may have been based on representation made to him by others. So you're listening to others, getting some misrepresentation based on things that was brought to you by others. Okay. Now, Donnelly put into the discussion by saying it was her observation that Greenberg, Leonard, and the rest of Kelly's legal team had made every effort to ensure that Mr. Kelly was well represented. Bull crap. Later, she also empathized that all attorneys to first make sure there is factual basis for any statements made to the court. And then he said they are trying so hard to get R.Kelly that they are using a 60-year-old law that has never been used before against anyone. The bond requested was denied, with Donnelly reasoning that nothing had changed since her initial ruling. She said there was no condition or a combination of conditions that could guarantee Kelly would return for trial or not be a danger to the community. So they was not fulfilling this right here for Judge Donnelly. Okay, they didn't have the conditions, the combination of the conditions. They had no way to guarantee that R.Kelly would return for trial or not be a danger to the community. They did not provide the adequate information that was needed, but yet blame Canick. But look who was responsible for this stuff. You had Tom Farinella, Steve Greenberg, Nicole Blank Becker. You don't hear Canick's name being called at the end. It's hard to say at the end, here go the keys to this hot car right here. Get it as far as you can before you get caught. You know what I'm saying? Sure that Kelly would have sufficient access to his legal team. Donnelly also said she would be willing to provide a court order guaranteeing the attorneys could secure a private conference room in MCC where Kelly is currently being housed with Farinella, that it was critical because you're preparing for trial. But you already knew that, Donnelly added, drawing a bit of a laughter from the near empty courtroom and injecting a bit of levity into the proceedings. The request of Kelly's newest attorney, Devereaux Canick. Donnelly also said the jury selection for the trial will go forward as previously scheduled on August the 9th, but agreed to delay opening statements until August 18th to allow Canick to get more fully caught up on the case. So have it, and you can say all you want. Well, he shouldn't have took the case. He shouldn't have took the case. Who was going to take R.Kelly to trial if he had no attorney other than Tom Farinella and Nicole Blank Becker, who could not even cross-examine some witness because Nicole came in tainted. She came in unable and ineffectively able to cross-examine her client's accusers. Okay, so therefore, right there, that's ineffective counsel. But anyway, Donnelly also said that jury selection to go forward, previously scheduled on August the 9th, but agreed to delay statements until the 18th to allow it to get more fully caught up on the case because he wasn't caught up. This man didn't have enough time to get caught up when he just got there, and all the people been there all that time. But again, and I'm gonna play a statement from Ken at the end of this live. Donnelly originally agreed to delay arguments until August 23rd, but the government said that one of their witnesses and alleged of Kelly's, who was named in the indictment, was pregnant and due to deliver on August 27th. Okay, and we know that was one of the federal prosecutors noted that a newborn baby would not be conducive to traveling from Chicago to New York to testify. Yeah, I've heard that. Donnelly quipped before agreeing to the shorter delay. And then that's pretty much it. But that's the only time you hear Kanic's name is when they start discussing how he needs more time to get fully caught up on this case. Yet again, hey, blame who you want to blame. I'm just saying, until I see what this man has actually done, then hey, it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's that. Now let me see. Hold on. Now I'm gonna come back to the comment section, and so I'm gonna get back on, so that way I can see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Y'all comment, okay? All right, let's see. Okay, so let's see. I see R.Kelly making a. I guess comes out. There'll be a lot of tears. R.Kelly will be fine. Finally, give. Oh yes, definitely, definitely. It seems as if withheld a lot of information. Yes, they did a complete mistrial. Absolutely, it was a mistrial from the start. They knew what they was doing, and it's gonna work out in his favor. Like I said, he'll get opportunity. Okay, so let's see. Corey Simmons, Kanik was not the lead. Nicole was. Kanik was there to assist, but the other two attorneys were not prepared. They was not prepared at all. They came in non-prepared, and so yeah, Greenberg was leading, did nothing, absolutely nothing. Let me see something. This is I'm gonna share this with you guys. So this is what I saw when I was at the court. Okay. Absolutely. I agree. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay. So this is what I see at the courts. Okay. That's what I saw. That right there. Look at her. Mm-hmm. Yep. Cocky, arrogant. Yeah. So, like I said, I got so much stuff, you guys. Hold on. I'm not even done, but let me get back in the chat. Okay. A complete mistrial, definitely. Yeah. So, those are some of the things, like I said, hold on. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How do I do this? Okay. Now. I can't do it that way. Do it this way. Okay. Now, if I come back on stream, now I'm going to share this with you guys. Okay. Now, listen to these words.
Okay, thank you. I'm Deborah O'Canic, and it was my pleasure to represent Rob. I got involved in case, I think June 21st, and had to get caught up to speed and see if we could find the case. If I was on day one. We got the setback.
He said he had fought this case as if he'd been here since day one.
We disappointed that the jury didn't see the evidence the way that we heard the evidence. But we're not dismayed. We're more. I don't know what's the most disappointed in verdict in the jury or the government's perpetuation of the fraud. This is the case with the government insists, and each and every one of those cases at least 5 different scenarios, and there are just inconsistent statements and paperwork, and it seems though the government picked a statement that was supposed to the narrative that they heard and that perpetuated, and that's what they argue to the jury. Their argument to the jury is totally inconsistent. I don't think it was a prosecution, and the court of appeals will agree on it. I don't think the court is going to say that type by any prosecution. And I think that you just because you want to get R.Kelly, you have to do fairly, and you in the court of law. And trial is supposed to be search for the truth, and that's not. So I would ask prayer for Robert. The outcome that he knew go battle narratives of the narrative that was by the media that instead of fighting that involved hate. Okay, thank you. I'm organic, and my pleasure to represent Rob. I got involved in this case. I think June 21st, and had to get speed and find a case if I was on day one. We got the day. We disappointed that the jury didn't see the evidence the way that we heard. But we're not dismayed. We're more. I don't know what's the most disappointed in verdict, the jury, or the government's perpetuation of the fraud. This is a case with witnesses, and each and every one of those witnesses gave at least 5 scenarios, and there were just inconsistent statements and paperwork inconsistent, and it seems though the government the statement that was posted in the narrative that they heard and that they made them prepare, and that's what they argued. And that's what they argued to the jury. Their argument to the jury was totally inconsistent. I don't think it was a prosecution, and hopefully the Court of Appeals will agree with it. I don't think it's going to sanction that type of thing by any prosecution. And I think that when you get R.Kelly, you have to do it fairly, and you have to do it. And the trial is supposed to be search for the truth, and that's not what we got here. So again, thank you. I'm Deborah O'Canic, and it was my pleasure to work with Rob. I got involved in this case, I think June 21st, and had to get caught up to speed and be ready to try the case if I was on it for one. We got a setback today. We are disappointed that the jury didn't see the evidence the way that we saw it, heard the evidence that we heard. But we're not dismayed. We're more, which one I'm most disappointed in is the verdict from the jury or the government's perpetuation of the fraud. This is a case where the government interviewed witnesses, and each and every one of those witnesses they interviewed gave at least 5 different scenarios, and there were just inconsistent statements. Their paper were replete with inconsistent statements, and it seems as though the government, the statement that was closer to the narrative that they heard and that they wanted to perpetuate, and that's what they argued to the jury. Their argument to the jury was totally inconsistent. I don't think it was a federal prosecution, and hopefully the Court of Appeal will agree with it. I don't think the court is going to sanction that type of behavior by any prosecutor. And I think that when just because you want to get R.Kelly, you have to do it fairly, and you have to search for the truth.
Okay,
That's
y'all.
not what
I'm
we got
back.
here. So again, I would ask you to say prayer for.
Okay, here. I'm gonna play it here.
I'm Nicole, and it was my pleasure to represent Rob. I got involved in this case, I think June 21st, and had to get caught up to speed and be to try the case as if I was on it from day one. We got a setback today. We are disappointed that we didn't see the evidence the way that we saw it and heard the evidence that we heard. But we're not dismayed. We're more, I don't know what we're most disappointed in. Is it verdict from the jury or the government's perpetuation of the fraud? This is a case with interviewed witnesses, and each and every one of those witnesses they interviewed gave at least 5 different scenarios, and there are just inconsistent statements. The paperwork were replete with inconsistent statements, and it seems as though the government picked the statement that was close to the narrative that they heard and that they wanted to perpetuate, and that's what they argued to the jury. Their argument to the jury was totally inconsistent. I don't think it was a federal prosecution. And hopefully the Court of Appeals will agree with it. I don't think the court is going to sanction that type of behavior by any prosecution. And I think that just because you want to get R.Kelly, you have to do it fairly, and you have to do it in accordance with the law. And the trial is supposed to be straight for the truth, and that's not what we got here. So again, I would ask you to stay in prayer for Robert. He's disappointed in the outcome, that he knew that he was in an uphill battle because of the narrative that's put forth by the media, and that instead of fighting the court in the case of the court, he had to also fight the court of public opinion, because frankly, a lot of folks believe what they were hearing from somebody R.Kelly, a fiction, and they came to court with that background, and it made an uphill battle. But I think that when you really look at the testimony in the case, you would conclude, you know what, I don't know what these people were listening to, I don't know what they were looking at, because this is where, as far as I'm concerned, totally discredited, and hopefully the Court of Appeals will see it that way. I'll be visiting Robert on Wednesday. Unfortunately, we can't get to see him tomorrow, but I'll see him on Wednesday, and I will let him know that his support base still here for him, and they will be supporting him throughout the process. Again, this is round 1. We didn't get what we wanted round 1, so now we have to go to another source, and that source is going to be one that's more
So there you have it. So he saw what he saw. He fought the way he could fight the fight. And no one else carried that weight. But blame who you want to blame, say what you want to say. I mean, hey, I ain't here to convince. I'm just here to say that Kanek did what Kanek could, and all is appreciated. So now that Jennifer has the case, the good thing about her having the case is that she's a fresh eyes. She can come in and do and take the case to a whole nother level because of her expertise and the fact that she is an appellate attorney and the fact that she handled appeals. So she knows how to file this pretrial motion, and she knows what steps she has to take if all else fails, and she has to put in an appeal. At least he already has an appellate attorney, so he don't have to go out there and get an appellate attorney. Now he has everything he needs in one to move forward this case to get him released, okay, and free. Because again, house is clean, Kelz coming home. Whoever don't like it, boo-hoo on you, and try to jump on the bandwagon now. Kelz is been watching, and everybody is watching this case because people really want to know how the outcome is going to be. So hey, things is moving in the right direction. Shout out to Jennifer Bonjean again for and R.Kelly for cleaning out house, you know what I'm saying, and restoring order, and taking control over his life and how things are going to moving forward. I think he has the best legal team now with Jennifer and her crew. And baby, I'm just waiting, as everybody else is patiently waiting for February 17th to get here. Can't get here enough. Okay, so let me see what you're saying in the chat. And it looks like that's my time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys enjoy your night. I will see you guys on the next one when we got some more information. Or maybe I just want to break down another one of these attorneys and what they have done to fail their client in his pursuit of freedom, allegedly. But anyway, you guys enjoy your night. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on your way out. Remember, free R.Kelly. Well, we over here yelling, free R.Kelly, free Amal, man, free Larry Hoover, man, free R.Kelly. Now, this is the way it's supposed to be. We got everybody that mean this case no good. We finally got rid of them. Thank you to Jennifer Bonjean for seeing it the way we have seen it for the last 3 years. We got what we need to move Kelz about the system. Free R.Kelly, y'all. Kelz coming home, y'all. Kelz is coming home. Trust that it's a process, but Kelz is coming home, y'all. It's a lot of things that's not supposed to be, but right here, free Kelz, y'all. See y'all on the next one. Peace.